RNC Chairman Reince Priebus. Great to see you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here. So, what do you think is what are the criteria for an endorsement? What do you think Paul Ryan is looking for?
Well, I just think, just getting comfortable. I think, honestly, that Paul believed, like a lot of people, that we all had another 30 days to kick the tires and at least go to California,
but
if
what do you
not
need to
maybe
know about
even the
Donald Trump that you
convention.
don't already know? I mean, what do you need to know?
Well, look, I think an endorsement, and certainly in Paul's mind, is an important thing. I mean, it's sort of like, a public hug and vote of approval, and I think Paul takes it seriously. And I'll just tell you that everything you said leading up to the question to me was accurate. Both Donald Trump and Paul Ryan left the room. I think they both expected a good meeting, but I think they both left and were even more kind of impressed with each other leaving the room. There was far more agreement, Megan, than there was any disagreement. And there was also an agreement to keep talking very quickly to get to a place where everyone was comfortable. And Paul wants to get there, and today was a more than great start to that process.
What did they talk about? Substance, policy?
Well, both substance, policy, our party, and working together. Obviously, I don't want to ruin it for everyone, but I can't really get into the details. And then people can understand that if I'm going to be a good chairman and intermediary, I can't come on a show and
they won't let you back into any more meetings. You can't blab.
Right.
I'm just wondering.
Not a very good move on my part.
But let me ask you this.
But
okay,
it was
what the people say.
It wasn't. Sorry.
This is what the people say who think, oh, Paul Ryan can never endorse Trump. This is what they say. Trump favors a ban on all Muslims coming in the United States. Trump wants to deport all of the illegal immigrants who are here in this country. He wants a mandatory deportation force, in fact. He says NATO's obsolete. Trump says that the government's going to pay for health care in this country with some private system, but he said the government's going to take care of people. These are not Republican ideas. These are, in fact, they've been disavowed by most top Republicans. Does Paul Ryan need assurances on things like those?
Well, I've disavowed some of those things myself, but no. But I think Donald Trump understands that he's heading into the general election, and I think you heard even on a couple of those items, he's visiting those subjects again, and I think you saw some of that today. So, look, I think we have a candidate that has brought in more votes than any nominee in the history of our party. But he's also someone who's never in his life run for public office. I mean, just think about that for a second. Never run for any public office, and he's done pretty darn well. And so, but he's also someone that understands that he's moving into a general election. He understands he wants to be presidential and gracious and focus on Hillary Clinton and how she's not a good answer for our future.
So, but how does that work?
I think he gets that.
So given that, given his win, and the amount of votes he has, how does it work? Does he have to move closer to the party platform on these issues, including, for example, Planned Parenthood, which he says does wonderful things, or do you need to move closer to him because he's the one with the votes?
Well, look, first of all, I think you got to ask Donald Trump that, but I can answer for the party. The party is the party. And we are here, and as far as our platform is concerned, it's not going to change. And so, I just think that Donald Trump brings to the table something that, at least for us, is something very different. And if we're being honest with each other, the same old way that we've been doing things and running for president hasn't worked out very well for us.
Correct.
So for all the smart people out there that think they know what's best for everybody, it hasn't been working. And it's nothing new. I mean, we haven't really
won
about yourself. A presidential
race. I mean, really?
Well,
right?
Listen, I mean, well, look, I support the nominee, Megan. I mean, there are 17 candidates. Whatever candidate was going to be the chosen candidate, I would support. And so that's what I've always said I was going to do.
But what happens in July?
We're moving into doing.
What happens in July? Because the Republican Party, like the Democratic Party, has a platform. And it includes, being pro-life. They don't favor exceptions for rape or incest. So now you're going to have a nominee who's going to come in. He is not going to be in line with the platform. Does that matter? What if the nominee doesn't match up with the platform?
Well, but wait a second. I mean, I hear what you're saying. It's a good question, so I'm not critical of it. But John McCain and Mitt Romney and both Bushes, they didn't line up exactly with the platform either.
So it doesn't matter. They don't need to.
No, it does matter because Right, but it doesn't matter. It does matter. The point matters because I don't know if anyone lines up 100% with the platform of the party. I mean, the point is, do you agree with 80, 90, 95% of it? And I think we're there with that. I mean, it's like Ronald Reagan said, my 80% friend is not my 20% enemy. We don't expect 100% purity, but we expect that for the most part, for vast majority of your positions line up with our platform, and I think he does.
Fascinating. Continue to watch it. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.